No, I'm 28. I went to Wake Forest.
Broadcasting. It should be. I'm going to go up there and make the announcements and get things underway.
I'm going to use my phone as the timer.
That's
okay?
fine. That's fine.
Oh, I look very flat.
You're beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're starting. We're going to be starting in a moment. I'm going to do the what I call the checklist. So, first, welcome to Sacred Grounds, the longest running open poetry mic in the known and unknown universe. And Teddy is our host back there, so give us all a round of applause. Directed to him, then directed to you, directed to me, directed to Owen, then to Dr. Howell over here, and John over here, and Jan over there, and Sandra over there. Thank you. I'm Dan Brady, so the current host, and we've been around since 1972. Not me, but you know, reading. Let's see. Oh, the way we support the reading is by having food and drink here. That helps keep the bottom line under observation. We ask you that you please respect the mic, and by that we mean keep your conversations to a whisper. If you have a device, like I know I do, now's the time to put on mute, hold, airline mode, or whatever you want to call it, so that it doesn't disturb you or us or anybody in that night. I point to the link every time I do this, the link on the little poster over there that helps you in 5 vital ways. If you can't be here, you can view in. If you want to see someone to see you live, you come here, you look at that and say, oh, that's the way to do that? Yes, dear.
I just found out that if you just Google Sacred Grounds, the link to that actually comes up. So you can actually get it that way too.
All right, and if you want to hear someone's poem again that you couldn't believe was so good or so bad, then you can go there and check it out and see that. If you want to do a self-critique, that can happen too, and more importantly, it's a way to put out your word, the word, our word, any word, and that's the word. We have an ongoing theme, and that ongoing theme is never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, is the only thing it ever has. That's from Margaret Mead, and I take that seriously. Tonight's theme, if you could hand me the little thing there, that's the ongoing theme. We have a theme of the evening, which is political sabotage. And Gary was going to be my co-pilot. Mr. Alan Harris is sitting in until such time as that transfer takes place.
And just
give him a round of applause here because he's brave. He's sitting next to me. Has to do with my ridiculous nature.
And just so we're clear, we're pro-political sabotage here.
Okay, there we go. Just make it. So we had, the fabulous door prizes are what's next. Let me just introduce you to a few of them. Not me. All right. Now this, A Treasury of Great Science Fiction. It's in 2 volumes. I don't know if this is 1 or 2. But this is a great series. It's one of the best series of science fiction short stories you'll ever come across. There's another one that I know of, which is almost as good as this, or it's about the same. It's a great read. You like science fiction?
That's the Gardner Jones-Waugh edited one?
What?
Edited by Gardner Jones-Waugh?
Let me see.
Or is that the world's best?
Anthony Boucher.
Oh, that's pretty old. That's
Yeah, it is. It is a classic.
50 years old.
Yeah. Andrew Tobias, the only other investment guide you'll ever need, in case you're thinking about that. Healing Thoughts. This is a really nice collection of things which will help you help yourself. The Testing Tree, poems by Stanley Kumet. And I'm looking to see what year this came out here. Wow, the guy died in 1958, so it has to be pretty old. Oh no, this came out in 65, so it's a little on the right side. Then Roots and Branches, the Centennial 1978 Poetry Symposium, Fort Worth State Park, Port Townsend, Washington, just in case you want to go to the Round West. Poems by Alice Elizabeth Rogoff. This was donated. Great set of poems in here. I read a few of them, so that's a very nice thing.
Very good.
Yeah. Lucille Clifton's The Book of Light. I did not know her, but
Very good poet.
also you know her? Okay, so we got some education.
Very good.
Yeah,
all right.
She was very
And then, of course, if you want a no Bob Dewhurst, these 3 volumes are here. They're Pinwheel Turns, A Kiss, and The Magic of Sky. So it's like 2 books in 1. 2 books.
Bob Dewhurst did this sign called Sacred Ground.
Yeah, he made the sign up there.
That's great.
If there's anything else that I need to do, no, I don't.
It must be
think
good. There
there's
are 3
anything else.
copies of it.
Yes, well, we're going to make that into a Lend, bring in and drop off library, and he wanted me to donate those books to that, but I decided to give them away instead. Anyway, so I think that's the main set of things. Door prizes. Oh, if you wish to record somebody to take a picture, please ask them permission. I will assume that you've done that, and I won't interrupt them or you, unless, of course, the contretemps evolve. Anyway, so let's see, that's about it. Oh, the keynote tonight is Richard Sanderell, our feature. Mike Agazine, who's right here, give a king's wave here. He's a great feature, he's been here before feature, so I'll tell you more about that later. Owen Dunkel is the last word, and Hal Robbins is the main feature. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Sanderell, would you kindly step forward and take the mic, please? Give him a nice round as he comes up here.
Where would you like me to take this mic to?
Timbuktu, but who's asking?
Oh, okay, just checking. You told me to take it, I don't know where I'm going to go.
Well, I could tell you where you could place it.
Ooh.
But that would be nasty. And
I
not
love
friendly
in
at
the
all.
afternoon. All right. We have two. This is Zippy the Pinhead by Bill Griffith. The pledge.
And then when he's done, he's going.
I pledge allegiance to the fast food franchises of the United Nations of Pinheads, and to which takeout window at which I stand, one soy dog underwater with Cool Whip and clam dip for all.
Right on.
That's
Sweet. Who is that?
Zippy the Pinhead.
Oh, that's right. You said, I'm sorry.
One of my heroes. Well, I thought Mr. David Erdreich might come tonight because I'm going to read one of his poems. And since he's not, he'll just have to chew it. It's called Polemic, 5/23/06, 5 a.m. What is a poet? A prophet of a presence speaking in tongues? New languages absorbed in a single swallow? Athena sprung full-blown from the head of Zeus? John F. Kennedy could read and understand the whole page at a glance. George Bush had trouble understanding and speaking single words. When greed replaces wisdom, lies and theft are presented as truth and thrift. Mercury poisoning is good for you. Clear-cutting trees, our breathing partners, is good for you. Global warming does not exist. Free enterprise means record petroleum profits. Dead miners? Don't bring up the life-saving prevention measures before people die. Hurricane Katrina prophesied many times before its arrival. Ignore the obvious. Stupidity is often unprepared. Further, it doesn't care. Shoot your friends in the face. Aye, that's a sign of caution. Pretend torture does not have serious negative consequences, as in violence begets more violence. As soon as it tears its ugly head, raged up and down, civil wars in Iraq will never happen. Has foreign policies learned anything from Vietnam? Apparently not. Oil tails wags U.S. dog. Halliburton leads to halitosis. A bad taste in your mouth as the greedy eat their own offspring? Remember those who hide behind the corporate smokescreen are real people with names, addresses, and yes, consciousness.
Good. And I hand him the attribution sheet. Whenever you read a poem by someone else, make sure that we know who is responsible for what, when, where, why, and how.
Just so we're clear, if you don't use your entire 5 minutes, it doesn't roll over into next week. So there's been some question about that.
Has there been a question about that?
Yes, remember that riot I started 2 weeks ago
Yes.
when you wouldn't let me have my 85 minutes?
That's true, I remember that.
Up next,
Sick.
Tyler Hall.
Tyler, oh, he is new here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time, so let's do it.
Let's do it.
How's it going?
Pretty darn good, if you ask me.
Thank you all for having me. Really, it's always so cool to find nights where people are coming together to share their work in any city. It's impressive, especially here with the way rent prices are going up. It's harder and harder to find authentic artists, and I'm happy y'all are here. All right, so I'm going to read a couple poems I've been working on recently. I've been trying to read every day. I was in a band for 5 years in New York, and I recently came out here. I had gotten sober for a while when I had a really bad relapse. And right during that time, I was kind of like turning in my thesis up here, and
Where did you go to school?
I'm up here at University of San Francisco. So I was like dealing with a lot, and then also like falling apart in my private life. And so I started doing these like poems and shapes, and I kind of want to do those today. They're new, but so this is a kind of a list poem, but it's shaped like a clock, and the 12 o'clock repeats. It's called 12-Step Relapse. 12 o'clock. Today I woke, remembered, God was dead. 1 o'clock. Burning guitar, house fire, hell's effigy. 2 o'clock. Songs smoked, ashen hymns, dirges. 3 o'clock. Fever, jagged, in, sick, my head. 4 o'clock. Hungered, dark, poison serpents, tinfoil coast. 5 o'clock. Avatar, benediction, veining. 6 o'clock. Today I caved, resurrection, rolled stone. 7 o'clock. Met Judas, thirsty quarter, swallowed sun. 8 o'clock. Shake, wait, shake. Pilot shook, sped home. 9 o'clock. Silver pieces, smoking cans, broken straw. 10 o'clock. Religion, brain, ice skin, baptism. 11 o'clock. Nailed wood, crucifix. Quitting. 12 o'clock. Today I woke, remembered, God was dead.
Forget that. Hold on just a second. Okay, now.
So, one of the other things that fascinates me about poetry, I'm kind of like an obsessive person. Like, when I'm into a band, I read all the biographies, and like I listen to all their songs, and I kind of like write my own songs in response. And poets and writers do the same things. You kind of can have a conversation with people who inspire you. So this is called a Ouija board poem for Cummings. I talked to E.E. Cummings' ghost last night and reasoned with a form I can't deceive. A modern pen to channel spirit's sight is what I hold. A method to receive a conversation, spanning pages, tight lined prose that stifles everything it sees. Can a ghost still bleed in a modern light? Cummings says, all ye of little faith, we breed. Do all poets count syllables on hands? Did Shakespeare's hands ache at end of the day? Do my ink-stained hands bleed the same damn way? I put my pen to skin the ink commands. My ravaged fingers try in vain to lay. A twisted sense of urgency delights, but finished sonnets only bring dismay. I'm just going to do one more if that's okay. One of the other people who really inspires me is Dylan Thomas. Those brightly burning luminaries like Dylan Thomas or Ernest Hemingway or Jim Morrison or Kurt Cobain, like people whose art blends with their life to the point where you don't know like where one ends and the other. Like that's what always fucking fascinates me. But one of the things that he did that really, I kind of grew up in a theater household, and Shakespeare was really big, memorizing songs and all that. And Thomas kind of would take those standard forms and twist them just a little bit and pervert them just a little bit and do like an archaic language with a modern language. And this is my kind of like attempt to do the same thing. But anyway, it's called Stage Seduction. Through boulevards.
Just finish, yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Through boulevards of empty bottles, the dancers make their way with half-remembered flames for dying lights that guide. while deep inside our naive grottos where music will not play, for shelter from grief's rain that danced upon dew high. Emerging from our star-built sorrows, the broke become the dame. We danced free from cave to plain, and then humped amongst our prides. For once wings are clipped, then time hath borrowed her angels crawl away, and now stripped treasures remain with passings of the tide. In naive fields, in which faith hollows, wise wolves refuse to prey, shy sheep ignore life's pain, and put trust within a lie. Through boulevards of broken bottles, romancers make their way, and half-remembered flames are guiding lights that guide. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Make sure you take the information too if you read some of this.
Tyler Hall, first time here.
All right.
Up next is a man who I had a very fascinating conversation with recently about Allen Ginsberg. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know either.
You can talk about Ginsberg all you want. I love Ginsberg.
Buford, give him a hand.
There we go. Mr. Bunton.
I work at a high school, and this is very relevant to that. It's called graduation. Today, a couple of hundred of us probably in the football bleachers watched seniors graduate. It was a glorious day and very crowded. I cheered especially for my special ed students who made it out of high school.
Right. We cheers for that. That's good.
Here's another one on the same subject. The end of the school year. During the school year, I was given another new fellow paraprofessional in the special ed classroom where I work. I am the original para in a room that has had the same teacher but two other paras besides me. I used to be a big job shifter, but as I've aged and gone through divorce, I'm the one who stays as other people leave. I'm not through. Thanks, Alan. I was just emphasizing that because I got the other connection just now. Part of it is that in San Francisco, lots of people can't or don't want to put up with the high rent, or they get transferred out of the classroom, as my former fellow para did. As I've said, I remain and become long-term. In this case, long-term being 4.5 years. I've broken my hip almost 2.5 years ago, and now I go into classrooms to help students rather than stay in one room and work with the students there.
Yes.
Oh. Buford! Sorry about stepping on your pause there, Buford. If you're going to pause during your poem, could you hold up a little sign or something? That was just embarrassing.
Actually, this is the signal for pausing.
Is that what it is?
Like this, like this, like that.
It's pretty simple. I mean, come on, folks.
I'm not done yet.
About 400 words in
Yeah, no. This, then that, and then this. And then,
Yeah, there's a tutorial on YouTube.
This. But if it's
Just do a
second
little-
Tuesdays, you go like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just go to the tutorial on YouTube. We don't need to waste time here. But,
Hey, stop it.
okay.
It's not my turn.
You're not funny anymore.
All right.
Don't be bad.
Okay. Up next, Romy Cruz.
Romy! Hasn't been here in a while, so that's very nice. Now, you might have well. There you go.
Good afternoon. I have only 5 minutes now.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Reminding me.
the title of my poem is Snail Island, about the Pacific island I visited in called Tulan Island in the Philippines last summer. Snail Island. I did not ask to be awakened by the howling of the wind and feel the earth move, oozing like slime on the green blue ocean. I did not ask my friends to wash their hands and wave at the taro leaves, shaking off the rain from their coats and dresses, and welcome. The monsoon, after all, will not change the late afternoon sight, the waves roiling from the east to find the sun hanging from the horizon. Late in the day, I can feel the island growing bigger, as if pregnant when something is alive below, the jagged feet of the rocks on the shore, chewing the seaweeds, trying to escape. Let me be the first one to tell you about the pelican as it crashes on the green water around us. A croak, a cry, a numb touch might shame us as we walk on the island. The shells I gathered scraped my hands. I could do nothing except watch. A crab angled along the waves, undulating and snap at the glare of the sun, trying to empty itself of the light. As the shadows from the shell of the moon slowly cover the island after sunset. That's it. Next one is alternative facts. I know these alternative facts are all fake. Even the most idiotic among us know the difference. Some obvious trick works the audience. A stage drop, a gypsy switch in a clown plant. Everyone this early sees the difference. An aroused but listless audience crowds around Kellyanne Conway, ready to punch. They're desperate for truth, for work, for reason. They're desperate for the light to hold the dark. You and I are desperate for this lady who pretends she has the answers, who talks on the stage, her hand like a magician, reaching to the neck of the woods. The numbers she dropped are framing the numbers. The obelisk to the avenues suddenly reveals that the White House has its own printing press for a new version of truth. They can't even remember how the country got here, the founding fathers, with the Constitution and Bill of Rights, and how everybody has a right to expression. What march, he asks? These women walking never had things to do any better. Is it done with smoke and mirrors and say that the country will be great again? Or just going downhill? Build that Mexico wall, ban all the Muslims from the 6 countries? Will Flynn escape the rule of law by pleading the fifth? The modern Arnold Benedict hope he can run away like the white rabbit into the hole after his alliances with the Russians. Indeed, the election was hacked. After all, Mueller will find that the fishing expedition will catch many fishes. Our boss communicates in Twitter like a modern-day oracle of prophet. Words haphazard and careless. Syllables lost in hateful meanings. Tortured syntax slowly losing his mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roman Cruz.
Romy, welcome back.
Up next, Nate.
Nate?
Yep.
Nate? Are you new, Nate?
Nate.
I came here maybe about a year ago, while back, so.
Let's treat him as if he's new. Give him a nice warm welcome up here, ladies and gentlemen. Nate, crying out loud. And then you just make sure you're focused in there.
You need me to lower the mic?
Yeah, he needs to probably lower the microphone a little bit.
Yeah.
How's that?
He looks very good. Look at that. Very nicely framed.
So I like writing songs, taking perspectives of other characters, or kind of like jumping into a situation that's maybe not my own. And so a while ago, I gave myself a challenge to write a song from the perspective of a bully. So, and I'm not really sure exactly what prompted that, but I just wanted to kind of explore what a life experience might be for a bully. And so came up with a song, and the song is called Nobody's Friend, Everyone's fear. Drain my tears until I'm dry as a bone. I'm dying for love, but I'm better off alone. I don't mind the hate, it's all I've ever known. I'm nobody's friend, but everyone's fear. My reflection in broken mirrors is all I see. I flex my arms and say that I'll never ever be weak. It's a mask I wear, but it's all that I can be. I'm nobody's friend, but everyone's fear. So when you hear my words ringing through your ears, I hope they shake you to the soul. When I swing my fists and I knock you to the floor, it's the only time that I ever have control. Dad's been drinking, giving us a piece of his mind. And Mom yells back, but soon she has to run and hide. It's a mess at home, so school is where the power is mine. I'm nobody's friend, but everyone's fear. Nobody's friend, but everyone's fear. But then you said that you'd forgive me, and I cannot say a word.
Nate, thank you. Did you come here for the Thursday night thing? Or the...
I used to for one time I came from the Thursday.
Okay, all right, yeah, because this is great. This is mostly poetry, but we like musicians. So you come in, you do your thing. It's great. We love it. Come back. Damn, double times. Okay.
Cool. He's gonna back me up on everyone.
Oh, he is he?
Yes, I will.
Well, Jesus,
On
Lord in heaven.
Yep.
Let me just put someone in here. Just came here.
Up next, Jack Melander.
Jack Melander! Hello! Hiya! Gewalt nach dem Boden können absagen.
A couple of math and science poems in space. They call it the point they make, extending bent 6 segments straight, of which 3 plus directions take, called forward, right, or up, create their opposites, back, left, or down, which they are static negative. Then stretch the ends past edge of time, each dual axis, positive and minus, perpendicular to plane 1 or 2 might live. These map makers then go too far, 3 signed coordinates to assign 3 distances from every point to get to any axis line. What omnipresent powers anoint these heads that feign to compass all of space? They fear no vanity, nor reckon hearts of portrait and sing their own geometry, when most ingenious pride must fall. Can rhyme how technocratic men colleague Mother Earth disgrace. That recent evil grappling them in its Cartesian plane of space be closed in mirror pentagons, or by dodecahedrons bound at center of the origins of weapons formulas were found, derived by fiends who mutilate their cursed fallen state, contracting them nigh unto death. The rest of space can take a breath, its denizens no more play booths, all sliced and diced in squares and cubes. Despite each rigid devil's jibe, a huge icosahedral room lets some poet circumscribe about each moaning jail tune, So now imps reel with their release on each triangular bulkhead. Old bards portrayed who found surcease in diabolic plotting and spread, or angels framed in trinities who do with hellions what they please. This is called soft integer for hard scientists. Noontime, up and down the street, people passing don't meet, but to the eyes of any one of whom does not the sultry sun suggest a figure of most fun? It's the number of girls less the ones departing vision's field, plus new ones on the scene revealed at each successive moment. Yes, then multiplied by all the boys at those same times the walker sees. This product represents the joys, all the scroll's possibilities of bliss. A very valued elf. So why not factor in yourself? Yet wait. Did we think to subtract all pairs of whom either ought lack of his or her majority, or celibate vowed to be, or lapsed into senility, or else was someone else's spouse, or was himself far gone, or didn't turn the other on, or wasn't well? But let's not grouse. It's still so great, this journey's some, the chance for couplings and menages. As to smite jealousy's gods dumb, and Cupid moved to shoot barrages. None knows but you, Master Fantastic, those neighborhood swords yastic.
Okay, I'm used to it. We're good.
We should work up some harmonies. Yeah. Up next, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Alana, is that right?
Alana?
Yeah, Alana Levy.
Alana Levy, give her a nice round of applause. She's new here, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's go.
I think this will be okay. Well, I happened to, by mistake, take your topic seriously.
Oh, good.
That's no mistake.
There are no mistakes here, except mine.
I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes, though that might be more honorable. Selling instead ideas, words, books, poems, anger, resistance, rebellion, rage. Unknowing, knowing is unknown. Knowing the should of knowing the moment, knowing something is terribly wrong, and resisting reality is futile. It is so. Yet raging, unknowing, knowing raging is unholy. I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes, not even tomatoes from her garden, or shawls loom spun, who flings out to strangers and loved ones, how come? Whose teachers say, so it is as God has wrought. Certainly man and man is meant, who's learned of love for all and nods assent, yet does not know how to go on. I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes nor tomatoes, not even yeses, though easier to sell than no's. Surrounded by flowering plants, redwoods with their cones, chickadee cheeps, hummingbirds graced, this mantle fell over these shoulders, wowing along, asking how it happened. This old woman who does not sell rice cakes, nor tomatoes, not even home-baked bread, whose money pays for the death machine, honestly cannot smell the stench of rotting, burnt corpses, of manned, unmanned, drum-killed children, cannot hear the doomed pigs' squeals in unmovable crates, cannot see through unopenable dungeon gates of Florence Supermax or Guantanamo, and has never tasted the fumes of Bhopal or Chernobyl, or even Louisiana's waters, where so-called BP's oil from platform fled. I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes, nor tomatoes, nor shoes made from tire treads, refusing to play games on demand, as I am an old woman given leeway, some no way you can harm me place, free as a bird in a roomy cage, larger than most. I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes nor tomatoes, not even broadsides, who struggles to stand tall, pressed against the icy cold, jagged glass-topped concrete wall of callousness, greed, and big lies. I am an old woman who does not sell rice cakes, who at times stands still beside her stall.
Do a shorty.
Today's headline: I've got torture on my mind. Does anyone know what is going on in Guantanamo? No. Why so? I've got torture on my mind, la-di-da. Force feeding even during Ramadan by the U.S. government, la-di-da. Doing it for our safety, I believe that. La-di-da-do. I've got torture on my mind, la-di-da. What happens to the torturer as they pull on their rubber gloves to keep clean? Barfa-dee-do. Been going on for centuries. Melodies disappeared. Since written history, how does that speak to civilizingness? Leave the tune to you. Have you ever wondered why Neanderthals were the ones who went extinct? Funeral march will do.
Alana Levy.
Alana, thank you. And now,
Our next reader, John Rowe.
John Rowe, come around as he comes up here, taking the mic, and increasing the stature of the mic so we can match the stature of the person. There we go. Focus in beautifully. The sunlight is beaming upon you. Happiness is ours, at least for another moment.
What room are you in?
B5.
Okay, good to be back at Sacred Grounds.
Good to hear you.
Thank you. These are short poems. As the crow flies. I apologize for not seeing the writing on the wall, but I believe the maintenance man, known for his attention to detail, quickly covered it over with a fresh coat of blue paint, which reminds me to keep my eyes open for some encouraging signs up ahead or up above, beyond the wall, into an open sky to see which way the wind blows here to there and there to here. A gateway into dreams, where the soul resides, without walls to write upon, finding a creative conspirator, a poet without a pen, a surprise.
He's subtle. He's subtle. None of this pots and pans clashing for this guy. Subtle.
Arrival, departure. She appears daily as an old, weathered woman, loiters around a neighborhood shopping center, greets passerby with a "hey baby," sips from a half-pint whiskey bottle and spits. Today, for the first time, she asked me for the time. She's never asked for money or anything else. I wonder if she's homeless and where she sleeps. Maybe she has more resources at her disposal. Maybe not. I don't know her name. Today I try a new approach. Ask, "Are you an angel?" She closes her eyes, grins to reveal her teeth and missing teeth, then hums for a moment. Pigeons have lifted off around her. Scattered crumbs, empty bottles, cigarette butts. Suddenly this woman is bathed in bright light. I squint. Why is it that I've never asked her name? I'm asking now as if I really need to know before she and I disappear into the wing-whisked air. Common ground. I feel like this is a strange place, like I'm a stranger in a strange place, feeling strange as a stranger in a strange place. Then you come along, we meet in the middle, and you say you feel the same way. It's good to know we're on common ground, not choosing sides in this strangeness, this sideless situation, and not worrying about which key is needed to unlock a door that isn't there.
Front row.
Up next, I don't know, is this your first time here?
This is my first time here.
This is Dan Brady's first time here.
Oh my goodness.
Hallelujah, Alabama. All right, so in line with the theme, what was it again?
Political sabotage with one B.
Political sabotage, yes. So, first off, I'll go back a few years. You'll remember Tahrir Square in Egypt. I'm assuming people will remember that. So this was written at the time for them, and then I'll follow it up with something that's really rude. Tahrir Square. What is their song? Theirs is not just one song. What is their hope? Theirs is not just one hope. What do they dream? Theirs is not just one dream. In the songs they sing, there is a sacred sun, the trackless sky, the broad winding Nile, their surrounding of desert, where monuments of stone bear mute witness to the ageless, yet in their eyes there is passion and a gleam at the wonder of their moment, so that now they tell the truth, which is so strange that sometimes they break into laughter just for hearing it. For they are all breathing hope that they have a real chance, a chance of a lifetime to reach out and touch their world, something rarely granted by fate or the gods. In peaceful assembly, they wish to be seen for what they are, gathered for freedom's sake, standing against all the doubt, chanting their desire, singing slogans, singing of their faith, and they dance in circles toward their dreams, the ordinary of hearth and table, and the extraordinary of an illumination they each harbor, a brilliance of the heart which the great shadows of this world cannot withstand. And so they break the chains of their past, as 300 martyrs would have them do, as their souls would crave, as time itself would have it, and they will be free. And now, as foreshadowed, I feel that political sabotage can be in the form of extreme insults. And this is my Dear Ann letter to Ann Coulter. It's an open letter that I don't think she'll ever see. Thank you. I want a girl who uses knee pads like a whore, so she won't snag her nylons on Rush Limbaugh's floor, who slips OxyContin into his tumbler of neat scotch as they frag amputees in a Vietnam vet's march, who licks Cuban cigars with G. Gordon Liddy and drinks with Tom DeLay because, well, he thinks she's kind of pretty, who'd love to throw a brick at double Howard Dean, then kickbox her way through the crowd to get away clean. A girl who tattoos a Hummer on her vibrator machine because it doesn't burn enough Iraqi gasoline. Yes, a girl who paves her own exclusive driveway with the headstones of those she's backstabbed in her day. A girl who makes lampshades that take away your breath from the fatty skin of liberals she skinned alive to death. with a low-torch tongue that etches her initials into hippies on a rack for hot and sexy thrills. A girl with fascist delusions, fast and feckless, who attacks, who wears Ray-Bans at midnight and creates her own facts. Who gets real juicy, dreaming of hot Nazi sex that finally sets her free. Who loves a hate crime scene and her cheap law degree. I want a girl with a real short fuse and long, vicious rants, who disposes of the helpless, the poor, as she passionately pants. A real drive-by babe with her neocon hips tightly skirted in our flag, who will go down on a pulpit while eternally on the rag. Yes, dear God, I want a girl with a voice as pure as cyanide gas and a sweaty leather thong with swastikas on her skinny white ass. A girl whose machete wins her debates. I want someone bolder, with fingernails like razors, whose initials are Ann Cold.
Yeah! Stand ready! It's a sign we don't often see!
She didn't look at me the same. Thank you.
Maybe Chris.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do it again.
Can you imagine what the children of Ann Coulter and Tom DeLay would be like?
Isn't that a toxic waste
Okay,
dump?
the bathroom's over there if anyone needs it.
It's not called a national sacrifice area.
Yes. Isn't it Richard Sanderell who's coming up next?
Richard Sanderell is coming up next.
With his device in hand. Give him a round of
Some of
applause.
his own incendiary words for it.
Yeah. And then we have our feature coming up after Richard, I believe, isn't that true?
That is correct.
That is correct. Thank you. Mike Magazine. And see, that's my beeper going out for me.
That is me.
How silly of me.
Oh, stop that.
I ran over, didn't I? I bet I ran over.
Can I shoot it?
No.
No, Jesus Christ in a
That's an
hamburger.
obnoxious bell. Can I shoot that when it goes off? I guess I can.
No, it's a precious device of all things.
Can't shoot the timer.
You can shoot the time.
All right, I'm going to read a couple of short shards and then we're going to have you play. These are shards. Don't blame me for the 90s. I voted for George Clinton and Leslie Gore.
I love Leslie.
Yes, there's no collective forgetting, just collective neglecting. Shut up, Richard.
Is that Richard Brodigan?
No, stop it.
Okay, I will.
All empires are gilded in gold before the fall. Just in case you didn't know. All right. This one. Let me get on preview. Okay. Some days I do hate computers. And today's one of them.
We respect it.
Lusa, you have no memory. So just take it. Lusa, you have no memory. You barely remember this morning. You're surprised to find out they're still aliens. When you meet one, you think they're Mexicano, expecting them to speak Spanish. Some of you are vacuous in thought. It's only about your sexual relationships, your life, your happiness, sadness, which is fine, but is there room for anything else or anyone else? Are there other stories in your quiver? I become bored with your me. You have nothing to enlighten us? You cry you have no pension, no retirement, no health care. But it is our generation and those thereafter who willingly killed unions. United, we might have stood a chance against what follows, helping what every human being has a right to. Now most work their jobs until they hate until they die, instead of living lives that have meaning and joy. People died, maimed, terrified, but stood united against what remains. The 40-hour week overtime with benefits for starters. Unions became corrupt, but it was up to the membership to change, not to be led by thugs. But USA can't help itself. It's thuggish from the beginning. Now those rights will have to be fought all over again, and all those new world odors permeating from politicians and leaders disguised as humans. That said, I would rather have a corrupt union with pension and health care. Truth is, most need to show courage. Most are missing in the movement, imagination, never testing new ideas that they may be better than the old ideas. They remain static, frozen. If you have no stories and only your self-absorbed ones, go to your therapist. Tell them, not us. That's the response to their very poets and musicians keep talking about he. It was only them that they had time for that night. Sort of had to do my rant.
Rant.
That was my rant.
Was it?
It was a rant.
Thank you.
Day sky, night sky. I miss those times of big day, night skies. But night skies in the country or at sea are best. Shows how insignificant we are. Milky Way, phosphorus spiral arms across the sky, filled with light from stars, reflections in cosmos sea of matter, light, dark. Trees stand reaching for sky, stars. Strong hickory tree, heavy with hickory nuts, proudly displays itself on windless, cloudless, warm nights. On summer nights in the season of fireflies, signal each other looking like twinkling stars on earth as the cosmos watches coldly. Things above seem to be in one place, invariable. In truth, things are moving, stirring, colliding as fireflies do. It is a sky where Orion, Sirius, isn't the only game in the sky. Its sky is where you see things you can't explain, maybe what you think, maybe not. When the moon is full, it hangs among the stars below, slowly rising as animals below scurry from woods, crossing yard, roads, to continue to the next woods. Barn owls always ask who, but is never given an answer. Storms can be seen off in the distance, lightning lights starry sky. Things burn in lighted night skies, reds, yellows, blues, greens, purples, never to really know what it was that gave us its death colors. When at sea, the phosphorus behind the aft leaves the tail that mimics the phosphorus sky, leaving a tail. Here is sky at its most glorious. See the beauty of the cosmos most high. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Sanderell.
Yes, Andrew.
And Nate.
And Nate. Thank you. I had to put that in there. I was wondering, I didn't want to lose track of that. All right.
You would have to catch another train if you were to lose. What?
All right.
Well, we come to one of my favorite parts of the evening because I get to brag on someone in public and they have to sit there and take it, as they say. So, Mike Agazine is here in the house. Now, before you applaud, give some background on this guy. He's featured here a couple of times. Hasn't it been like a couple of times you featured here, right? Well, yeah, something like that. And so it's always been good, and we got him to come back, and it's really nice. He has done different things in the different times that I've heard him. So, he changes it up. He's variable. He's not the proverbial one-trick pony. He has different voices, different perspectives, different ways of doing things, different styles of writing. He's a wonderful voice. The man has courage. He does not give up, won't give up. Sometimes because he can't give up and he keeps on going, even when he thinks, what the hell am I doing here? But he keeps on going. He's a man of passion, compassion, wit, and wisdom. And I'm so glad to have him here. Give him a real round as he comes up here. Mike Alvin. All right.
Mike on the mic.
I can't live up to that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a chair.
All right, can you get that chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll set this up for
My
you.
knees are not up.
No, that's great. We'll just make sure you're in. I appreciate it. Is that good? Is this good?
Excellent.
You got to be close to it. All right. And then I'm going to focus in on you because right now you're out of the screen, as they like to say.
I used to come here about 30 years ago, regularly. And I've been coming about once every year or so. And it's nice to see new faces and some older faces that I recognize. And Dan, you're here. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I'm going to read a longish poem, the first poem. I'm not as well prepared as I usually am. I've had a lot of things going on in my life lately. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. This is called Cheer. It was written after our first win of the World Series. Cheer. When a holiday cheer and magic burst forth last night as usual and not, like an uncommon, unfoggy Paris, where here a sea of orange and black and most popular Halloween was celebrated, San Francisco was full of vampires, ghouls, ETs, ghosts, and thousands more. Gorgeous, stunning women were out. Some were hardly dressed, some a voyeur's delight, some ladies were out for something like a Hollywood thrill, and there were feminists as well. Halloween was accorded with trick-or-treat and transgenders as well. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks, Jack. On TV, suddenly you were there on the 7th of the Game 5 of the World Series. Posey gets on first. Uribe gets on base. Huff, sacrifice bunts. The fans from all walks of life scream, clap, and stomp. Then fans put out the voodoo, the prayers, the hopes, and the dreams for Texas or San Francisco. Team winning the game in series. It's 1 out, then 2 outs as Burrell takes a strike 3. From Columbia, Edgar Renteria cracks a mighty home run over left center field fence. And that makes it 3-0 San Francisco ahead. A roar, then a pandemonium broke out. North Beach restaurants and bars go berserk, and so do Lefty O'Doul's and Tommy's joint. They go wild. The Mission was beaming, Cal Hollow screaming, and on the hill they go, the Fairmont Hotel swoon. In Hunters Point Shipyard, the dogs bark. The former President George W. Bush stands in a Texas blue sports coat watching the Rangers defeat. The Golden Gate swayed where Chinese Americans smiled and hip-hop revelers say cool. Felix pitches well, Bumgardner warms up, but you could just taste the victory from misfits to hero giants. The torture and grit began in 1962, when it went to 1989 and Quake, then 2002, and now it had been released. Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Cepeda, Marichal, and the Yerlew brothers, and on the Bonds. They had talent, they built this franchise, they played in Candlestick Park, and later the team played at AT&T Park. Maybe it was a transmigration of the souls into a jazz idiom, or a Cecil Williams celebration. I don't know. My Muslim friends say shalom and something. Somewhere the song White Rabbit played. San Francisco had its mojo back. You could feel it. Then there was a parade where the heroes stood tall, including the pitchers Lissicum, thinking about his dog Cy, and Wilson, Romo, the Beards. Sandoval kept coming back for each at bat. Latino hitters, Torres and Sanchez were there as our heroes, where Hutt pulled out his red rally thong to the crowd. Mayor Newsom was proud. Manager Bochy was humble and gave respect to all the players and fans. In the crowd there were gay, young, Asian Pacific Islanders, old, straight, Proposition 19 supporters. You could take a big whiff. Mamas, daddies, children, and plenty of tears, hugs, and laughter. Right after the win, Ross may have said it best. We are not superstars, we are ordinary men. Even some homeless in San Francisco were happy. And Ron Washington and the pitcher Lee and home run hitter Cruz and all their great team had given their all. You could touch the sky. It was pure transcendence with balloons, clowns, and cheer as a phoenix rose. Root, root, root for the home team, and then Mudville went up. It was pretty crazy in town that night. You know, with Halloween coming up, Halloween there, and just the streets were filled with people and pandemonium. Okay, this one's a little more personal. I was hospitalized about 1.5 years ago for cellulitis and had a real high white blood count, a very high one. And I wrote this kind of as I was in the hospital, and I don't know if it's very well written, but it expresses something. Lucky. It is the 9th of September. Diane's birthday is on the 23rd. John just had a birthday. My mind seems to be working fine. I am at St. Francis Hospital with cellulitis and another infection on my right ankle. I had a fall and my white blood count was 24,000. Normal is between 5 and 10,000. Remember to get laser from staff. As far as I know, I will be released near noon time. The heights that I see from the 9th floor do not cause me the worst anxiety. That is fortunate, but I avoid mostly looking. Being here has been a respite from the Granada. 2 days later, I just wanted to find a quiet place. I could still hear my neighbor, but the noise was murky, so I could focus on how I was feeling and today's experience and its reflection. You'd think it would be quiet in a hospital, but the beeping monitors, the change of drips, and monitoring of the flesh is pronounced to me. It was, I washed my parts in the shower. The physical therapist helped me from preventing further falling. The walk around the 9th floor with the spectacular views and dizzying heights had gone well. What is clear is that I am happy to be alive. Although when the chaplain came in to see me, I cried thinking of my mom passing over 1 year ago. The chaplain had spoken about our mortality. Today it is a bit warm in this hospital room. The guy next door I hear too much of. My doctor had knocked on the door. He looked at my ankles, still bright red, so I was just, he decided to keep me for another day. I had no temperature and I had to get more sleep. I did get more sleep last night, although the interruptions kept coming. The hospital staff includes Vietnamese, Pacific Islanders, and Chinese. They comprise much of the staff. As I looked around, I considered myself lucky. I said after a walk, my drip was turned up and the antibiotic bag was cold. The nurse had been safe. Again, I consider myself lucky. Smiling. It seems pragmatism, thinking in terms of what I must do, is a greater part of my current consciousness. Focusing on immediate tasks. Poetry, prose, fiction come after this. Businessman, functioning person appears at present to crowd out dreamer, poet self. Still I am thinking of the lovely, beautiful woman, and now it seems closer to realization. But many have said that this kind of relationship will come when it comes. Now I have a fuller life and am happier. This kind of relationship seems to be easier. Well, what will be, cliche. As to career, I am not sure, but I've done much phone work and worked in a senior residential hotel, technical recruiting, and art sales. My sister Claire will be here tomorrow. She is almost 46, now 66. I have not seen much of her since I was 19 years old. Although again, with telephone letters and cards, we have emotionally and narratively kept in touch. This time of the year is after Easter, before my anniversary at Research Magazine, and birthday right around Linda's, Pam's, and H's in mid-April. Love is in the air. Not that struggling and suffering do not occur, but that there is a certain level of content. It is now present and clear to me. In the background, classical music, piano playing, a Telemann concerto, This apartment surrounding me is neat and well kept. The wandering Jew in my kitchen blooms, smiling out at the sunlight. Now significant others are laughing, crying, joy and sage burns, smiling. These are a little rough, Foggy. It is foggy outside. The music plays just a tad loud. A family of 3 sits outside. The mother is feeding her baby. The fog softens the hard edges of the sidewalk and people work at their computer. A singer with red hair talks about singing with a man who sounds a bit off-key. A woman sits next to me with Henry Miller's Tropic of Cancer. I continue to wake up. A man in large sunglasses goes out to the front door. The man alludes to Aristotelian thought, and now they talk money sense. I'm rereading the Upanishads. The grocery store a little bit down the block across the street has oranges, lemons, apples. The fresh produce is outside, foggy. Okay. Thank you, folks. Cold Spring. Golden Gate Park at the end of a cold spring where a 1921 memorial to soldiers died in the war. To orange poppies, Irishes. Here's to the chipmunks looking at you. To flora, including fern growing up on a rock with a gorgeous rose bush and hummingbird taking some pollen. When the sun, not at noon hour, is reflecting pond where turtle in succession turns his eye upon me, I talk to him or her, ever so agile and energetic in his pond, reflecting the sun, where at first looking out from the wooden canopy there are less white flowers this time of the year when concluding a cold spring. The blue bliss sky today, like an early spring down almost into summer, when the sun is seen above, when in the hectic life I find a moment to mope around, to slowly smell something cooking here at Einstein's Cafe, formerly the Owl and the Monkey. But here in the background I rest easy with a cup of dark, black, rich coffee. And, quote, if you look into the San Francisco Weekly, there is a quarter-page ad. Anyway, if you look, she hangs up after leaving her message. I grab another cup of Java. Yes, Golden Gate Park at the end of a cold day. And yes, the fluorescent fragrance of the what I thought to be dandelions, similar to a kind of pink Irishes, Golden Gate Park at the end of a cold spring is.
Oh yeah, I remember the Owl and the Monkey.
Owl and the Monkey.
Yeah.
When I lived in Golden Gate Park.
Whoa.
They used to have a music series there, all kinds of things. It was great.
And a great backyard.
Oh yeah.
I could sit out there and smoke a doobie and nobody knows.
Oh no.
All the birds.
Yeah, all the birds. Playing Russian heartstrings, piano keys, the pain, suffering, passion, tugging, strength, softness and grace. O concerto, romance, A, B, C note, up the scale, down, up again, such style, such grace, strumming lighter, insight moves are made, Chopin, Scriabin, a two and preludes play, riveting, playing, softly, Liszt, Penderovsky, Rachmaninoff, romantic, soulful, playing. This is a little rougher. From my inner world I come with some awareness into a world of imagination, dreams, art, poetry, and music. Small gifts, small hope for immortality, small hope for the afterlife. From my inner world I go out to the stock market quotes, geography, the sun, moon, planets, and stars about us, into the further, more distant outward. From my inner world, I find feeling, vulnerability, rawness, like the earth and rain, mud, rock, and tree. From my inner world, I go inward and find sea dreams, line, sinker, bait, and hook, and sometimes fish come. From my inner world, I go outward, from air and openness into the world, where circulation creates the feeling, the wonderland within, the pleasures, the pain. From my inner world, I write with voice, inner stuff. I go forward to jazz tunes, with the light shining on my desk. The book about love, agonies, relationships lays in front of me. From my inner world, we connect. Most of these last ones are just short, so they're just short. And okay, knock knock. The music of contemplation is out of timing a bit, adhering to gesture, movement, and since the salamander wets his skin with pores that and senses that create profound emotion, emitted light, warmth, and heat, the pace quickens without a roadmap, plan, or design, but functions with spontaneity, incline, descend. Again, the waves of sound come from the flute, violin, dance, play like ebb and flow, like moontide transforming the air, wind, fire, burning energy, cycles and waves, cavorting, becoming, and morphizing, then remembering and forgetting as water heals. Knock, knock. That's somewhat nonsensical, but anyway, thanks for listening to it. Okay. Her kisses. I remember Pearl. She's leaving tomorrow. My tears are not dry. Off into a world of creation, properties, art. Back into a world of cancer, pain, high gain, children, agency, and penetrating assets. She, a supposed spy, a Mossad. Her pain pills, her red coif, her brown eyes. My balding spot does contort and inspire little. She believes in me, I do not conceit. Forget the pain, dude. She, I have money, money loves me. It may be a game to her. I remember Pearl, her kisses. All right, we're getting down to it. Thanks, folks. With the flu, I bumped into Charlie Leonard outside Green Apple Books. He said that if he had cigarettes and beer, he was happy. This was after his mentioning that his sister Maggie's birthday was today, and that his mother's and other family members wanted him to visit Ireland. There is some kind of merchant's fair on Clement Street. A petite Asian reads her Chinese right to left next to me. Yes, I am a bit weak, but I continue to think, ponder, and puzzle, and make some kind of sense of it. There is a draft in here, and it is from the opening and reopening of the outside door. I am tired. I lapse into a kind of quiet space with the flu. And 2 more paragraphs. Thanks for hanging in there, folks. I guess you have to. Winds. I sit on this bench in the backyard of El Bethel Arms and Terrace and feel the wind strike its magic on me. The sun is out and I am ready to do security work in about half an hour. The wind rustles this notebook and its papers. The leaves flicker and glisten. Some clouds overhead move easterly. The bombing in London is a reprisal for the Iraq War, makes me stop a moment and ponder the world and its geopolitical direction, which makes me feel uneasy. How many Iraq citizens have been killed? Does the U.S. need to dominate the world with its military oil industrial complex? Are we the world police? Do we need an Armageddon? Does this president think he is getting his orders directly from God? Yes, I sit here prepared for work, watching trees shake from the wind. This is it. Very short. I almost left this out. You. I go into the inferno and out. Then there is a war with angels. Pick an apple from Eden. Step into the dark side. Step back into the light. Thunder, lightning, flood. Ark, ride inside Jonah. Bebop, bebop, true. Bebop, bebop, you. Anyway.
Thank you.
Good being here after so many years.
Yeah, I know. Give him another round as he goes. We'll take this up for just a second. Oh no, leave it there. There we go. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead. No. We'll do the dance. Oh, that's not very.
Crouching.
No, let me just. If I sit,
Crouching is crouching.
then I'll be seen. Oh, there we go. You know how it is.
All right, I was going to do this anyway. But the second half is coming. We're going to take a break. Thanks, Mike. Again, beautiful and varied. I like that. So after the break, we have James Conrad, Alan Harris, Jan Dedrick, Wendy if she shows up, but she may not, Greg Pond, Gary, Trump Rabies known as that, Marco Harps, Garrett Murphy, and Hal Robbins, and then Owen Duncan. So we have quite a cast coming up after. The machine will be off, so that way you can speak however you might and you won't have to worry about the transmission to a mission. All right? So about 5-7 minutes we'll be back, and did I say yeah? James Conrad is going to break us open to the dock. So we'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes. Talk as you would if you were with friends.
I know you were
I was trying and I forgot.
It's okay. So the thing is, do you want to do the second half? He was kind of like,
Do you want to do the second half? No, you're fabulous. I think you're great. Honestly, you make Brady look bad. And that was my favorite piece that you've done ever. Is that the first time I've heard it?
I think so, yeah.
You were smoking. No, you